you on the three-step formula. Sorry, the three-step formula that changed my supply and demand trading for life or forever. So I want to go ahead and share with you guys and walk with you guys my process and what I'm actually doing. So first step is I always check Forex Factory for news because I don't trade unless there's actual volatile news, because that's just how my strategy works. I need volatility to create my supply and demand setups, because there is no movement in the market without volatility and news, because the news creates movement in the market through economic policy and policy shifts. And these policy shifts happen every week to every month. And so these give you opportunities of when the market is actually moving. So, yeah, guys. So the first thing I like you guys to do is, or what I do is, I go to forexfactory.com and I go on tradingeconomics.com. The first site is Forex Factory. I filter out on the left side where you see there, I filter out the orange and red only, right? And that only shows me the high volatile news that matters the most. And as you can see here, we have US dollar news, GBP news, and there is no yellow news, so that's a low volatile news. If I were to trade that and look for a setup with that amount of momentum, it's only moving sideways. So whenever you see yellow folders or like low impact news, that means the market's barely going to move. And so if you're trading a supply and demand or fair value gaps, you actually need the market to move to make money. So today's Monday. Sorry, today's Sunday. Monday we have Euro news, and that's medium impact news. And today we have some Japanese news for the Japan currency at 6:50 p.m. Okay, so that gives me an idea of what to trade. I only trade pairs that are actually presenting themselves to move. And Monday, Australia. So today I'm only trading Japan and Euro, because those are the only pairs moving today, because right here in Trading Economics, Japan is moving today, and on Forex Factory, Euro is moving today. So those are the only two pairs I'm going to be focusing on, because of the economic calendar. It's telling me that those are the pairs that are actually going to move and actually have news coming. And whenever there's news, you guys know there's usually a drop, there's an impulse upward, or there's an impulse downwards. And there's always a correction after the news, whether the market just exponentially jumps up or exponentially jumps down. There's always a correction before we continue going in that direction that's caused by the news. So after you get done with that, I'm only going to identify pairs that are actually moving now that we studied the economic calendar, right? And the pairs that we've studied are Euro and JPY. So I'm going to look at JPY pair. So for USD JPY, here's a little tip. It's a slower pair, so only use the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 30-minute. If you go any higher, it takes so long for it to move and to actually do relevant analysis on that pair. So, yeah, guys. What you're going to do is every Sunday, or whenever you guys want to, you're going to actually just move your charts. And what I mean by move your charts, you're going to clear your charts and make sure there's nothing on your charts, because when you have shit on your charts, it's kind of hard to do a new week of analysis, because you're just looking at the same previous old analysis. And then you see I'm zoomed all the way out. When you zoom, I say this every video, when you zoom all the way out on TradingView, it allows you to see the relevant trend. When you're zoomed in, yeah, you can still see the trend, but it's not as relevant and as full as when you zoom all the way out. Just take your mouse or wherever you're trading on, zoom out, and then that's going to allow you to see everything you need to see, highs, lows. And like I said, since this is JPY, we're going to be looking at a lower time frame. So let's start on the 5-minute. Okay, all right, so the current market structure we have on the 5-minute, and you can even take price action and drag your screen, and you see how, wait, hold on, let me do it. You see how I have price action? Drag price action to the left like this, so it only shows you the current price action, so you can focus when you're doing market structure. And when you're doing live current market structure, you only want to do your market structure from left to right. So left, like here, boom, boom. Okay, we got a low and we got our high. That's our current low and that's our current high. And then we have a previous higher low and a previous higher high, showing you that the trend is currently down on 15-minute. On the 5-minute. On the 15-minute, the same thing can be said here, but just on a bigger scale. We have a range. What it seemed to look like is, oh no, we don't. Actually, no, we don't. So the bigger trend for here would be this, Okay, so we have this slope here that started down here where I'm pointing those red lines. We had those slopes there that created all this movement downward, all this impulse down. And the high of that slope is right here where I just selected that red arrow. The high of that slope is right there. And then the end of the slope, I guess, will be down here where we're at. And so the highs and lows before then we had right here. I'm drawing them right now. We had a high, low, a previous lower low, and a previous lower high almost, but it kind of looks like there's a support and resistance. Sorry, a support, not support resistance. And I don't trade support resistance. I just use support resistance as my take profit zones or areas to take profit from, because usually there's a lot of money sitting on those areas in the market, because usually people are trading off of those that are retail traders, and banks and institutions and people with smart money, they like to stop hunt people at those areas because they know money's floating at those price levels. And so right now we know the trend is going down because we have all this, we have all the red lines that I drew over our structure shows that the trend is down, because we have lower highs and lower lows showing that the market structure is indeed bearish. Now we are going to go to the 1 hour. You can go into the higher time frame, but here's why I told you it takes a long time. On the higher time frame, the JPY is bullish. But if we tried to trade this and we were already here where I'm drawing that red arrow, if we were already right there, then it would have taken a while for price to continue to go down before going back up. And right now we're right here. We're right here. So since this is the 4 hour time frame, it would have took forever for price to come from all the way up here to down here, and then we would have had to wait just to buy. So that's why I like to trade on smaller time frames on JPY. And yeah, I know it's kind of messy right now. Let me just clear it off. So on the lower time frame, we're bearish, and on the high time frame, we are bullish because this is the 4 hour. So we have, and I didn't do market structure correctly just now. Let me do it correctly. You zoom all the way out until you can't anymore on TradingView, and then you drag price action. You see how price action's in the middle of my screen? You want to move it. Look, you see how it's moving? You want to move price action all the way to the left side of your screen, so it can only show you what's relevant, the relevant current trend. Our current low is there, our current high is here, our previous high was here, and our previous low is here. Our trend is bullish. If you take a trend line, you do that. Bullish also, but I don't trade with trend lines. And so since we're bullish, where are we in our current range? What's our current range? Boom, boom. We're right here at the bottom. So if whenever you're taking buys, you want to take buys at the bottom. So the 3 steps that I wanted to give you guys in the videos: number 1, know when the news is coming out. Number 2, identify your market structure. And number 3, buy or sell. If you're buying in the range, in the trend's bullish, buy at the bottom of the range. And if you're selling, buy at the top of the range. So if I'm buying here, the bottom gray arrow is where I would be looking to buy, since we're at the bottom of the range. Our current range is this current red, and our top of the range is here, the top arrow. So we're at the low and we're at bullish. So you always want to buy the dip low. And so since we're at a low point, I would want to zoom in on the 5-minute time frame, and to prove that we're at a low and to actually show me that we're bullish, I want to wait and to see price impulse to the upside. And that was most likely going to be caused by today's news, which is going to be today at 6:30 p.m., 6:50 p.m., Sunday, February 9th. And today's February 9th. And that's medium impact news. So that momentum should either continue pushing JPY down, or continue pushing JPY to the upside, creating a new trend, because our current trend for JPY on the smaller time frame, if you look at where I'm drawing right now, price action, and drawing price action like this is good for beginners, or just to help you guys with market structure. But yeah, it's currently bearish. The news should push price like this to the upside, leaving all this demand right here, and we can look for the demand zones on the smaller time frame. But yeah, guys, I hope this video helped, and I'm gonna make another one later. Peace.